What's up, everybody, and welcome to a new mini-series for Football Manager 2015. Now, I'm running the mod created by Golden FM, and this mod effectively takes the highest league in England and swaps it with the lowest league in England. So we're talking the Premier League teams, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, etc., are swapped with Vanarama Conference North-South teams, such as Basingstoke, Whitehawk, Hyde, and the sorts, as well as the championship teams being swapped with the Vanarama Conference teams, which is one step above. League 1 swapped around a little bit too. League 2 actually stays untouched because of the way everything works out with the league. So League 2 is as it is. Every other league in England is completely flipped. So as always, music is provided by Hamster Alliance. That'll be going on in the background. Hope it's not too loud. And let's go ahead and get in. I'll try and do between 3 and 5 seasons in a given episode. This one will probably be fewer seasons, just so I can help explain what's going on. So why don't we go ahead and start by looking for the Conference South. Boom. Alright. So we can see right away we have all these Premier League and Championship teams in Conference South. Same thing in Conference North. If we go up to the Premier League, and we'll go ahead and work our way up there, we'll work our way through the teams, we'll see that historically, as in real-world teams, weaker and weaker teams will be in the higher divisions. And this is just a giant experiment created by Golden FM. See what happens. And I think it's a lot of fun and it's really cool. So, there we go. So, Conference South. This year we see it's won by Chelsea and third place Arsenal. Arsenal winning the playoffs against West Ham. Tottenham finishing second there, but just missing out. And Swansea missing out as well. Birmingham and Brentford going down out of the Football League. So what happens when you leave the Football League? You immediately get dropped to 1-star reputation local. You might be secure in finances, or you might be okay or whatever. Your finances or whatever. But your players leave, and you get a local reputation. You're basically screwed at that point on. Whereas comparatively, some other teams like Cardiff, who didn't get relegated, you can see they have a 3-star reputation. Crystal Palace has a 3-star reputation. Chelsea has a 4.5-star reputation. This is a minimum 3-star reputation teams. You get relegated, you get dropped down to 1 star. So, watch for the teams to be relegated to come back up later, because they might, because they still will have all that money. But they're not going to have their reputation anymore, and they're not going to have that fan base. So the money is very temporary. QPR took some hits there in administration, finishing where? 6th. That has to hurt for QPR. If they hadn't gone into administration, they might have been in the playoffs there. Danny Welbeck leading the goals there. Oliver Giroud. Well, Charlie Austin. Gomez. So head coach movements. Go and look at the transfers real quick. A lot of money coming to these teams. A lot of big players leaving there. 18 million, 11 million. Millions and millions and millions of quality players. Quality players leaving. Actually, couple within leagues, but you see Monaco, Barcelona, Sevilla, Celtic, all picking up some quality players from those divisions. So, if there's things you want me to cover in future videos, leave it down in the comments below. Let me know what it is you want me to look at. So, let's go and hop up to Conference North. And we see Liverpool beat Norwich, and it looks like Manchester United ended up winning the league this year. Manchester City coming in a close second, but not able to get through. Bolton, Middlesbrough, and Blackpool all going down. Ouch. Now again, 1 star. Insecure finances. We may not see Bolton again. Not for a while. If you're curious about head coach movements, we can see those over here on the right side for the most part. And of course, the winners and whatnot we can see here. So, Also pay attention to the reputation, because that will definitely change over the coming years. So let's go ahead and check the transfers real quick. We see, again, several millions kind of moving around, but not as big as what happened in the South. We'll see. It looks like Manchester United is trying really hard to bolster themselves with cash so they can keep their stronger and better players. We'll see if that works out for them as they try and make their way back up through the leagues. Let's go ahead and hop up to the Vanarama Conference. We go ahead and see Rotherham got promoted here. Gonna throw the music there. And Yeovil also getting promoted, winning the league. 4 teams getting relegated. Really sad about Fleetwood here. I am actually really impressed by Fleetwood while playing this game, because you look at their history here. You know, do well, promotion, do well, promotion, do well, promotion, do well. And this is a team that has been on the up and up. So it is kind of sad to see that Fleetwood's probably going to fall out entirely. But we'll see. We'll see how they can hold up. Yeovil and Rotherham go up. Crewe, Notts County, Fleetwood, and Crawley going down. And any major transfers going on here. So we see not as big, hundreds of thousands. We got a one big deal. Whoop. One big deal here, 2.1 million. But nothing too spectacular coming out of the Vanarama Conference. And that's to be expected. These are smaller teams. These are more of the 2.5-star, maybe 2-star teams. Not super well known, but being in a higher conference, they will have a better shot than some of the other teams that are below them at keeping their reputation. Go ahead and go to League 2 here. Rockdale and Shrewsbury, Tranmere and Carlisle all going up. Portsmouth just missing out, as well as Northampton and Wimbledon out as well. Accrington and Dagon Red going down. Wycombe just barely surviving right there. Or Wycombe, I'm not sure how you pronounce a lot of these. I am not English, not in the least. Burton doing well as well. As well as Plymouth. I almost would have expected Plymouth to win the league, but they weren't able to do it this year. So, transfers, anything big? Not really. Nothing big going in and out of League 2 here. League 1, we see Forest Green, Cambridge, and Barnet all going up. Cambridge are champions. Congrats to them. Aldershot and Bristol Rovers cycling through some people, as well as Dover. Wrexham barely surviving. Well, surviving pretty comfortably there, actually. That's a 9-point lead. That's 3 games. I mean, they survived comfortably from the league. Macclesfield, Southport, Welling, and Dover all going down. Sad for Torquay there, as they could not get it through. Lost out to Forest Green there in the end in League 1. I'm not expecting any big transfers, but yeah, not much at all. And you see the reputation's getting smaller and smaller for the teams as we go further up. Let's go the championship here next. Sutton United getting promoted, beating out Ebbsfleet. Also going up is Bournemouth and Stalybridge. North Ferriby, a solid 3rd place finish. Congrats to them. But unfortunately, they just missed out as well. Chelmsford. Close. They made it. Basingstoke as well went ahead and made it. The Weston-super-Mare, Havant W, Waterlooville, and Bath all going down as well. Really interesting dynamic is created in this game, in that going down, the leagues actually get harder and you get less money for it. So you really want to try and avoid relegation like this, because if you do get relegated, chances are you're not going to get back up. Whereas if you get promoted, chances are you're going to stay up. So watch for the teams that get promoted and watch for the teams that get relegated. Because we're going to expect these teams getting relegated, they're going to get relegated again. These teams getting promoted, they're going to keep getting promoted again until they're in the highest league. Same for the relegated teams until they're in the lowest league. All right, and let's go up to the best, highest league in all of England, the Barclays Premier League. Whitehawk actually went ahead and won it. Congrats to Whitehawk for winning their first Barclays Premier League, and they won it by quite a bit over Staines. Right there in second. That's actually quite a big lead there. Brackley, Hazen-Yetting, Wealdstone, Bishop Stortford, Hyde, Oxford City, Lowestoft, Concord Rangers, Chorley, Gloucester, Maidenhead, Leamington, Gosport, Fylde, Gainsborough, and getting relegated, Howland Bay, St. Albans, and Hemel Hempstead. Wow. Big credit to Whitehawk for able to win their very first league, very first season. So if we go to the rules of Barclays Premiership, we see that the top 3 teams qualify for the Champions League, and the 4th team is in the best place playoff for the Champions League, and then 5th and 6th and 7th all go to the Euro Cup, despite who win. It depends on who wins the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup, because if you win the FA Cup, you get in the Euro Cup. If you win the Capital One Cup, you get in the Euro Cup. I think the FA Cup's the Euro Cup. Might be the Champions Cup. Well, let's go to the FA Cup and find out right now. So Manchester City went ahead and won that. Yeah, winner qualifies for the Euro Cup. So we saw Manchester City went ahead and won the FA Cup this year, beat out Newcastle. Go ahead and check out the semis, 6th round. Not really seeing any of those Premier League teams, current Premier League teams, up there quite yet. It's still mostly dominated by the lower leagues at this time, and that's not overly surprising. The lower league teams right now are going to have the big power. So let's go to the Capital One Cup. Who won that one this year? Cambridge won the Capital One Cup. Really? Beating out Bury. Semifinals, Exeter Cheltenham. I guess that makes sense, actually. None of the big teams, such as Manchester City or Liverpool, are actually in the Capital One Cup, because the Capital One Cup goes from League 2 to the Premier League, whereas the FA Cup is all of the teams. So for the Capital One Cup, we're seeing Cambridge go through as the best team there is out there this year for the Capital One Cup. So congratulations to them for going and taking that. Community Shield, Manchester City went ahead and beat Arsenal on penalties. Johnstone's Paint Trophy won by Wimbledon this year. Congrats to them, able to beat out Bury, which is actually quite interesting. Perhaps not. Perhaps it's less interesting than I thought. It's more of a small league, little tournament for them. FA Trophy going to Chelsea this year, beating out Manchester City. Well, congratulations to Chelsea, able to pick up the FA Trophy. So let's go ahead and check out the UEFA Champions League. Like I accidentally went a little bit too far, but competition history, we can see last year it was won by Borussia Dortmund. Go ahead and go to competition history. Runner-up being Real Madrid, or Royal Madrid. We can see the actual details here. Go back. Alright, so what we can see for what happened in this Champions League, just right off the bat, really quick, we do see that Chelsea was beaten against Dortmund here in the semis, and Moscow was beaten by Real Madrid. And then Dortmund went ahead and beat Real Madrid, and that was that. Quick and easy. We jump back to 2014, we can only see that little bit. So congratulations to Dortmund. Chelsea got very close. Let's go ahead and go down to the Euro Cup. Go ahead and run it back a couple days. Pull it back so we can actually see the league in more detail next season. International, enter. won this season. So congratulations to them. Runner-up Leon. And we can also see that 15. Everton lost out to Lyon. They got very close. Very well done. Actually, we can go back a little bit further here. Any other teams making it through? Just Everton. Tottenham losing out to Gladbach. And Hull City losing out to Lyon. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go into the next season and see where everything takes us. All right, it's a new year and a new season, 2016. Let's see how everyone did this year. The north-south. Let's go ahead and start in the south. Aston Villa beating QPR. And Tottenham gonna go ahead and go up this year. Congrats to them. Southampton, Swansea, and QPR. Southampton not able to get up. Who was second last year? Tottenham. So they did end up going up. That's great for them. We see Dulwich, Hampton, and Dorchester Town all going down. Hereford able to survive. Between every single one of these little years, I have like half an hour to an hour, so I don't fully remember who ended up where. But I believe Crawley was relegated to this league, so congrats on any of the relegated teams who managed to stay up, because these all look like the base teams down there, and they're all pretty much destroyed, all four of them. But Hereford stayed up, so good on them. Major transfers still. Seeing lots and lots of millions leaving the division. Whitehawk making a $14 million purchase. Congrats. And another purchase right here for another Whitehawk. $5 million. And another one for $2.5 million. Wow. Whitehawk splashing the cash, another $1 million. All from the Vanarama Conference South. Looks like they were the only team that really dipped in there and spent a lot of money out of the Premier League teams right now. We'll see how that changes in the future, if that changes in the future. Go ahead and go up to the north here. We'll see Everton getting promoted, 3-1 over Burnley, and Manchester City going through. Newcastle just missing out on that second place position. That's got to hurt. 1 point despite having a far better goal difference. They weren't able to make it up. They conceded one more goal and they scored so many more. But alas, it was just not to be this year. Everton does go up. Crew going down, as well as Nantwich and Matlock. And I assume those two teams, again, the lower level teams, but Crew definitely a little bit of a bigger team. Now non-league. Well, this is all non-league right here. They're out of the game, effectively. May not see them again. So, transfers, we see a lot of money. A lot of money being spent, and really interesting. We have 33 million to Manchester City and another 14 million to Manchester City, and then they spend 22, 16, 14, and 8 million right there. Lot of big transfer info here. If we look at transfer history, we see they actually made 62 million, but they spent they spent 62 million, but they made 54 million. So they did actually spend a good deal of cash. We'll see how that actually works out for them, because that's a lot of money to be spending just to get promoted to the Vanarama Conference. That's pretty impressive right there. That is quite impressive. Let's go ahead and head up to the conference here. Liverpool going up, beating Manchester United, and in fact Arsenal and Liverpool both going up, with Chelsea and United just have to stay in there one more year. Wow, that's gotta hurt them. Dagenred, Oldham, Accrington, and Scunthorpe all going down. Swindon and Chesterfield Doncaster barely holding on. And it looks like Coventry, Bristol City just barely missed out on their opportunity. But really 4 teams dominating the whole season. And after that, really almost like something you'd expect to see in the Premier League as of today. Lots of big points, and then some pretty high scores, and then a lot of really even scores. Just a very small change between 8th and relegation when you consider 46 games and the point difference is only 24 between 8th and 21st. That's pretty scary. It's a pretty wide open conference as of this point for who will end up where, so that's actually pretty exciting to see. Transfers, we see a lot of money being spent here. So again, a lot of players leaving. We do see Coventry actually picking up a lot of Brentford players. Brentford getting infused with a lot of money. Now remember, they're in the Isthmian Premier right now. So we may actually see Brentford come back up next year. You know, looking at their money, I mean, they just made 1-8, 1-4, 2-1, 2-9, and 3-1. Boom, 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 boom. Right there. All going to Coventry. We may see Brentford come back with the 10 million or so dollars they just got. Chelsea losing a lot of their really good players. We may not see Chelsea become a dominant force out there, but Liverpool only having to sacrifice 1 and Manchester City picking up 2 players right there. Manchester City may end up being the dominant force here, as both Chelsea and United are forced to stay down while Liverpool and City go up. We can see Liverpool and City become the big forces here. Or sorry, Liverpool and Arsenal, and City also going up. So I think Arsenal's going to be the one that'll start winning quite a bit here. Liverpool and Arsenal should just go ahead and go up with each other. But Chelsea and Manchester United, we'll see how they fare after losing some of their players like that, especially to new competitors, Manchester City, who will be up next year. So below into League 2, we see Plymouth going up, as well as Rotherham, Yeovil, and Portsmouth. Congrats to Portsmouth. Portsmouth being one of the tragedy stories of English football. It's good to see them going up now to League 1. And going down to see Welling and Southport. Unfortunate for them. Wimbledon not able to do as well as they did last year. Whereas Wycombe doing much better. So look at the transfers here. We are seeing biggest one, 1 million going to Staines, Concord Rangers. Now we're seeing a lot of these Premier League teams able to pick up a lot of these players here. Whitehawk picking up a player from Northampton. That's interesting considering they were looking at much bigger targets. We'll see how that works out for them. We can see a lot of these Premier League teams are actually able to pick up some of these other some of these players from the other teams for a fair sum. For them, for a lot of money, but they don't have that money yet to really splash the cash, except for apparently Whitehawk, who had a lot of money this season to spend. League 1, we see Torquay going up with Rockdale and Shrewsbury. Woking, Bath, Alfreton, and Weston-super-Mare going down as well. Unfortunate for them, but so be it. We go into transfers, and we're seeing less and less money being spent here in League 1. So let's go ahead and jump up to the championship. Barnet going up, and as well as Barrow and Cambridge. Now, isn't that back-to-back for Cambridge? Yeah, that is back-to-back right here. So congrats to them. They don't have any money to really spend on it. Barnet, again, doing well. Barrow, very, very close here. Just change that again. Can't quite get the music levels right here yet. Whoops. I do apologize. There we go. Alright, Forest Green not able to make it this time. That's unfortunate for them. So, Eastbourne Borough, Worcester, and Chelmsford all going down. So, almost $1 million spent for one transfer here in the championship. Not a lot being done there. So let's go up to the BPL here. Whitehawk, back-to-back champions. Congratulations. Definitely deserved champions. Gainsborough, Wealdstone, Leamington all going down. We see Staines, Bournemouth, Brackley, Sutton, Lowestoft, Stourbridge, and Hyde make your top 8. Competition history, Staines, back-to-back second. Congratulations to them. And this year we see Bournemouth. Last year we saw Brackley. Looks like they just went ahead and flipped positions here, but pretty dominantly by Bournemouth, pulling out a third there. So we'll see how this go ahead and plays out. Looks like England's not suffering too much at this point. In fact, whoa. They're doing better. Top 4 teams qualify for the group stage. 5th team qualifies for the best place playoff. 6th and 7th and 8th all qualify for the Euro Cup. That seems like more than usual. I thought it was top 3 teams and then the 4th team. Maybe it is the top 4 teams. I'll have to go back and double check. That seems really high to me. BPL is in 1st. Let's go ahead and look at England's coefficients real quick. Okay, so this is what I was actually looking to try and find here. So yeah, this is exactly what I thought. Is 3-1-2-1. England somehow ending up with 4-1-2-1. That's actually pretty peculiar, but good job to them for being able to pull that off. Must have to do with their performance either internationally or locally. We'll have to look more into what happened in the Premier League here. So go ahead and go back to the plays. We're gonna have to look and see how the teams all did. So let's go to the UEFA Champions League. I guess I need to go back even further. When was the last match played? 21st of May. So maybe we'll just start at the 1st of June instead of the 10th of June. It looks like Barca was able to beat out Internacional. Go ahead and take it back a little bit. We see PSG and Internacional beat. I don't even know what that is. What country are you from? Ukraine. Huh. Interesting. Go ahead and bring it back a little bit and see not too many interesting things here. We're not seeing a lot of English teams in here. Not 100% certain how England ended up getting so well. Maybe because they did so poorly, they get an extra spot. Maybe it's like, oh, well, Whitehawk lost to Bayern Munich. That's unfortunate. This looks like groups. So they lost in their group. But yeah, that's not certain how they ended up getting that extra spot. I'll have to look into the rules for that a little bit more. So as for the Euro Cup, Manchester City winning the Euro Cup, beating PSV. Your latest results. Here we go. Again, you see Manchester City going through. Not really seeing any other big England teams in here. So we'll see if that maintains for next year, whether or not they're actually going to be given as many places as they have. But in the meantime, congrats to them. I almost forgot to look up FA Cup. Here we go. almost skipped over the local competitions. So Chelsea winning out on the FA Cup against Everton, Shrewsbury beating Staines in the Capital One Cup. That's actually pretty impressive. Wasn't there... I guess no, not yet, because again, they're in the conference. Next year, we'll probably see a team like Liverpool win the Capital One Cup, so we'll see how that works out. Community Shield, Manchester City beat Whitehawk. Johnson's Paint Trophy, South End beating Northampton. And the FA Trophy going to Chelsea. Chelsea winning 2 competitions this season, so congrats to them. But they weren't able to get promoted, as again, that went to Arsenal, Liverpool. So we'll go ahead and see how that works out as I go into vacation and again attempt to catch it so that we can actually see the direct results here. So see you guys in the next season. What's up, guys? And let's keep going. I'm gonna be honest, it actually crashed while I was running it, so I don't remember what year we were on. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be on 2017, so let's just jump right into 2017. If I redid it, well, the game crashed, so I am doing it again. Alright, so let's jump over to Conference South. We see this year, Swansea gets promoted and Cardiff as well, going up. Dagon Red, Maidstone, and Weymouth going down. Margate surviving by sheer luck, and Hereford making a name for themselves with 25 points. Gotta feel bad for Crawley though, at 21. They don't feel like they belong in this division, and that's probably true. QPR getting some points deducted there. Overall, really didn't affect their position. Really quite an interesting point gap here. See, 390s, 380s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 70s, 360s, 150, 140, no 30s. It goes from 46 to 25, and that's after the minus 10 points on QPR. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. Looks like the conference isn't hurting too much right now. Let's hop over to the transfers for the season. Huge transfers out, and we see Hyde, Barrow, Concord Rangers, Boreham Wood, Staines, Cambridge, Whitehawk, Sutton, all picking up these $1 million transfers. Wow, Brackley, Boreham Wood, Whitehood, Hyde. I don't know what Krasnodar is. Russia, so I probably mispronounced that completely. But wow, a lot of these now new Premier League teams, after getting it going, look like they're trying to make up some ground. They're trying to buy some of these, $10, $15 million players and see what they can do. Now, these players are not going to be comparable to the players that we'll see at Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United. And I keep Liverpool in that group, maybe Tottenham, simply because they are getting relegated. They're going to get to the top fast, so they're going to hold on to their players. So we'll see how these teams fare against that higher level. I'm assuming not very well, but we'll see. Let's go and hop up to the Conference North. Big transfers again. Whitehawk, Sutton, Hyde. Juventus picking up a player. Hazen Yetting, Hyde, Sutton. Stoke actually grabbing somebody. Norwich, Hazen Yetting, Lowestoft. Where's that? In the Premier League. Apparently they're in the Premier League too. They finished 13th. Congratulations to them. Hyde, Coventry, Cambridge. Coventry has been buying a lot of people lately. Where are they? They're in the conference. They're in the conference, but they've been buying a lot of players. So we'll see if that works out for them. Overall, this season, we see Norwich and Huddersfield going up. Newcastle missing out by 1 point. 1 point. Which is exceptionally painful because they scored 14 more goals than Norwich. But Norwich gets to go up because they had more wins than draws. That is painful. That is so painful. If you're a Newcastle fan, I'm sorry. That sucks. Going down, we see Scunthorpe, Workington, and that thing. Ilkeston? Ikeston? I don't know. It's a thing. Bolton. 16th. Weren't they? Yeah. Welcome back, Bolton. Alright. Nottingham Forest, Hull City, Leicester, Stoke. Still a lot of really big names in here. Wigan. Still a lot of nice, big names in there. Something to definitely be careful about and to pay attention to. As to who will get promoted, who will be able to escape the conference. But escaping the conference is easy. Conference North-South. Escaping this conference is much, much more difficult. The odds are stacked so heavily against you in Van Marino Conference. This is the bottleneck stopping players and teams from getting into the Football League. This is where teams are going to have the hardest time, is surviving in the conference. Manchester City made it out this year. Coventry made it out. Congrats to them. Looks like they'll be doing well. But you notice well, actually not just 5 huge names not making it through. United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Everton, and Villa not making it through. Only 2 teams get promoted while 4 get relegated. This conference is a complete and total bottleneck. Whatever teams get through here will have a much greater chance of surviving once they get into the Football League. Unless it's 10 years from now and everything's already evened out. Get through now while you can, while you still have the money. Going down, we have Chesterfield, Doncaster, Welling, and Southport. Colchester able to avoid it, but really no major threats other than maybe the Dons. For the most part, it was pretty clear-cut who was going to get relegated here, especially the bottom 3. We do see the Everton head coach getting swapped out here. I don't know what their season expectations were, but that's a little surprising, considering they have to go against Tottenham, Chelsea, United, and City. And Villa, if the Everton head coach was saying you will win promotion, that's tough. That's really tough to get promotion out of those teams. Now, I'm surprised Coventry got out. That's very surprising. Like, holy crap, well done. I think the Everton head coach did just fine considering what they have to deal with. What you'd expect if they were actually in the Premier League, truthfully. Anywhere between 6th and maybe 3rd. Transfers in and out, we see 46 million into Tottenham. Atletico Madrid picked up Christian Eriksen for $46 million. That is a humongous transfer. He's worth 63. Look at the career stats. They picked him up for 16 and sold him for 46. That is a pretty penny of a profit. Well done, Tottenham. Wow. That is quite a good sell. Manchester City selling Natas. I feel like I should know how to say his name. I've heard it said so many times. Natasic. I don't remember how to say his name. $35.5 million to Barcelona. Tottenham making another big sale, this time to Hazen Yedding, the biggest English team receiving at this point, Hazen Yedding, for $12.75 million. Taking one away from Tottenham. So if they're building up something that Tottenham might have, if they're bringing in people that Tottenham might have, and Everton, then maybe, just maybe, they could become a real force in the coming years. And you see the likes of Whitehawk buying from the leagues lower than this, whereas Hazen Yedding's buying from the likes of Tottenham. I mean, we could see something really good coming out of this Hazen Yedding side here. Let's go and hop up to League 2, get into League Football. We see Southend going up, Arsenal champions, Liverpool not even a close second. Very strong second, but not a close second. And Oxford able to get up, and then only 2 relegations. This is what I mean that the conference, if we go back down to the conference here, this is what I mean it's a bottleneck. Only 2 can go up, but 4 can go down. You go into the league, 4 can go up, and only 2 can go down. So once you get into League 2, you're probably going to be perfectly fine. But you have to get into it first, and that's the hard part. That's not going to be easy. Walking Western Supermare going down. Really sad. Arsenal winger leaving Arsenal. It looks like he went ahead and retired. Kind of sad. It's 67-year-old Arsenal head coach. Famous and infamous. I mean, this guy, if you don't know, if you're an Arsenal, basically, if you're an English football fan and you don't know who Wenger is, you have not paid enough attention, because he is among the legends. He really is among the legends. So, kind of sad to see him go, but everyone's got to retire at some point, right? Still, they had a fantastic season. Absolutely fantastic season. Is anyone head coach right now? No one's a head coach at Arsenal right now. All right. Liverpool still have Jordan Henderson. Star reputation's gone down. Their finances are definitely suffering, so they're going to have to make some sales if they want to hold on to a stronger team. We do see Liverpool actually did sell 3 people. 1 to Whitehawk, actually, but they sold a lot in terms of cash there. I mean, 40 million, 18, and 11 million. Top 3 transfers, all for Liverpool. And Whitehawk picking up that 11 million there in John Flanagan. Congrats to them for picking up that player. Holy cow. Arsenal selling a player to Chelsea. Luton selling to Hyde, interestingly enough. Chris Long going from Exeter to Boreham Wood. Sutton United able to pick someone up. Brackley, Lowestoft, Gloucester, Bishop Stortford. Again, a lot of these premier teams are actually able to pick up some of these other players from these teams. They're slowly picking up these more and more expensive players as they survive in the division longer and longer. By the time Arsenal and Liverpool get there, they will have some competition. Go to League One. We can see League One's fallen quite a bit. Portsmouth, champions. May Portsmouth ever reign in return. Rotherham and Yeovil. Now, you may think me a Portsmouth fan. I'm a Portsmouth sympathizer, not a fan. But Portsmouth edging it out by 1 point. Again, we saw this in the lower leagues. Rotherham has a much better goal difference. Portsmouth wins out by virtue of 1 draw compared to 1 loss. That 1 difference right there, whether it's a draw or a loss. But the other one, we saw a lot more wins compared to a lot more draws. This is very, very much so, like, almost as close as you can get. Going down, Chelmsford, Eastbourne, Avonton W, and Worcester, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not English. I don't know how to pronounce these things. I don't have that kind of an accent. I have an American accent. Rotherham. It just makes their second place all that more bitter. Knowing you have the 3 best players in the league, you had the 2nd best goal scorer in the league. It just makes it so much more bitter. Because where's Portsmouth on there? Okay, they got a player a match, 2nd overall. They got the most shutouts, which is impressive, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Because a shutout doesn't mean you win. It just means you're probably at least going to get a draw. And they have, 2nd on the assists. Rotherham's 3rd on the assists. And they've got the top 3 best players in the entire league. I mean, that has to hurt. Really. That has to hurt for Rotherham. Still, they got promoted. And that's what counts. They can go up to the championship next season. And we'll see how they do in the next episode. Sky Bet Championship, we see Forest Green going up in 6th place. Congratulations. Shrewsbury and Torquay both going up as well. Going down, North Ferriby. Now that's sad. Kind of went up and down there. Farnborough and Coley Bay. So North Ferriby, yeah, they had quite a ride there. 3rd, 15th, and now 22nd as they go down. Basingstoke still on by the edge of the skin of their teeth there. 21st, finishing 19th. So they beat the pattern. They The pattern would have said 22nd, but they beat it. They're able to survive that out, but look at these teams on the bottom here. Look at who keeps skating by. Those are teams that will really become much more powerful later. And also, Barrow and Stalybridge got promoted. We'll see how they do in the Premiership. All right, the winner, Whitehawk. They get the chicken dinner this year again, 3 years in a row. Hazen Yeti coming in second, Cambridge, and then Staines not able to hold on to their second place, but a solid fourth, still in the Champions Cup. Concord Rangers and Hyde, 5th and 6th. And the other continental place either doesn't go to England or it goes to someone else entirely. We'll see. Gosport, Chorley, and Maidenhead all going down. Oxford and Fylde just surviving. And Sutton just missing out on Hyde. Ouch. All sorts of interesting names, interesting players in here. A lot of people who I don't know what they're doing. Let's go and hop back down to League One. Forgot to go through the transfers here. So League One transfers. A couple million here. A lot of them, again, going to the Premiership teams. Go to League Two. Or not League Two. Go to the Championship. Well, a little bit more money. But again, going to most of the Premiership teams. And Shrewsbury picking up a lot of players. And they were promoted. So we'll see how that actually works out for them. They picked up a fair bit of players. I've seen them on a couple of these tables here. So, and then for Premiership, we'd expect some big ones. From Atletico Madrid. Wow, and from FC 20. Wow, okay. Whitehawk making several big purchases here. Gosport making a huge purchase and still going down. Hyde, it paid off. Let's go ahead and look for Barrow. And what was this? Staines? Something? Stalybridge. Stalybridge, 11th. Barrow, 8th. Looking pretty solid. For those two teams, looks like they're going to do okay. But apparently, David Moyes is now coming into Stalybridge. Interesting. Really? Well, they picked up a fairly good head coach. I know some people are going to be very upset with Moyes for various reasons, but understand this is fantasy. His stats are still very good, and I think he'll do well at Stalybridge. Whitehawks head coach, Steve King. Pretty much rubbish. Pretty much. Absolutely not a very good head coach at all. Statistics, you know, the numbers don't lie. That being said, he has led Whitehawk to three successive titles. That's the word. Titles is the word I'm going for. Yes. So, you know, this is what you're going to do, right? Go and look at the money here. Is the money changing? Money has gone down. Money has gone down, but they still have 4 positions for the Champions League and 3 positions for the Euro Cup. So we'll see how that changes in the future. But the money, prize money, has gone down. We'll see. Jump into the FA Cup. FA Cup. Liverpool winning that 1-0 in extra time against Arsenal. Coventry, Manchester City. What else we got? United, Chelsea, Shrewsbury, and Barrow. Sutton, Altrincham, Barnet, Cambridge, Swansea, Sheffield, Everton, Brackley. So we're still mostly seeing the bigger teams dominate this at this point. Give it a little bit of time, a little bit of momentum. Next season, Liverpool is going to be in League One, right? That's going to be the highest that any Premiership team will be. Yes, so Rotherham's fairly powerful. But we're looking at Arsenal and Liverpool. They've still got a couple seasons before these names, these two teams, get up to the Premier League and start messing with them. So give the Premiership teams a little bit of time to build up some power. And we could see them doing fairly well when it comes to things like the FA Cup. So let's go down to the Capital One Cup. Liverpool won that 2-0 against Arsenal. Well, Congratulations to them. Barrow almost making it in, as well as the Concord Rangers. Ouch. Liverpool winning both, so they get to play in the Euro Cup next year. That'll be exciting. Community Shield, Chelsea 4-0 Whitehawk. Wow. Absolutely dominating that game. Yeesh. Johnson's Paint Trophy, Whoa! Liverpool again against Arsenal. Didn't Arsenal win the league? Arsenal won the league, but Liverpool beat them in all of the cup competitions. Wow, well done. Well done indeed, Liverpool. That's quite good. FA Trophy going to Manchester City against Manchester United. Had a derby for the final. Oh, I'm sure that was exciting. All right, let's jump over to the UEFA Champions League. Atletico Madrid 2-1 Napoli. Go ahead and hop over to, now this is what I want to do, go to the group stages and view all of those. Herpaderp. All the groups. Here we go. So looking on this side for England team, so you see Bournemouth managed to get 1 point out of it. Who'd they draw? Celtic. Okay, good for them. Manchester City winning their group. We'll have to see how far they went. And Staines getting 3 points. Ooh, who'd they beat? Zenit St. Petersburg. Well done. Well done, Staines. Able to pick up one. And Whitehawk just missing out on qualifying, losing out to PSG and Dortmund. You know what? That's okay. PSG definitely, Dortmund, but Dortmund dominated their group. They absolutely dominated their group. If Whitehawk would have gone in and PSG would have not qualified instead of Whitehawk, that would have been something to talk about. Still, Whitehawk, very impressive. They actually beat PSG at home. That's nothing to be ashamed of. They did a very good job coming out with 6 points then. That's no less than what you'd expect from a small team that's won 3 years in a row. Still, that's a very, very interesting result there. Whitehawk really coming out of the, other than, you know, Manchester City, of course, Whitehawk really being the best team from England here. So first knockout round, City goes through over Bayern. Well done. Second, or quarterfinals, City beats Real Madrid. Whoo, wow, City's got to be feeling on top of the world at this point. They got to be thinking, we are absolutely going to win this tournament. We beat Bayern, we beat Real Madrid, and then they get to the semis, and they lose to Atletico. Ouch. They don't just lose, they get squished. They get tossed aside like bug dust. Holy cow. Atletico Madrid, 5-2 Manchester City. That hurts. That really hurts. But Manchester City, absolutely great job making it into the semis. That is completely respectable, especially considering their competition. We hop over to the Euro Cup. We see Lyon beat Athletic on penalties. Well done. Well done. In the group stages, we have Brackley getting 2 points against Spartak Moscow, who ended up actually qualifying to the next round, so well done. We see Chelsea going on to the next round, as expected. And Sutton getting 3 points, 3 draws. Respectable. Genk and Dynamo Moscow. That's respectable for those two teams. Chelsea, how far did you get? We go to the first round. Chelsea knocked out by Lyon. Well, they were the inevitable winners of the Euro Cup. So, you know, if you're going to lose to somebody, lose to the winners of the Euro Cup. I mean, that's the best way to go out. Lose to the winners. Sucks. Doesn't make you feel any better, but you're going to go out 4-3. That too, man. That hurts. Go ahead and look at England real quick. Pop that up. England 14th overall. Looks like they're not really missing out on anything here. Big teams, still City, United, Arsenal. Newcastle, Tottenham, West Ham. But the best player actually is sitting Raheem Sterling over at Barcelona, and another one, James Milner, over at Valencia. BPL still right up there, second overall among European reputations. So well done being able to hold on to that, and actually exceedingly well done because we have 2 competitions that are 4.5 stars. Usually I only see one competition that's 4.5 and the rest are 4 or lower. But in this case, the 2 leagues are essentially tied. So very well done for England to so far hold on very desperately to that position. As far as cups are concerned, the FA Cup, 3.5 stars. Still number 2 in the world, actually down from first. So we just see England starting to decline here. The Premier League is down 1 position. The FA Cup's down a position. We'll see in the coming years if this is a trend that we're going to expect. Go to nation rankings. Roll up. Germany is the highest ranked European team in 4th. Now I will go to world and we'll see how it all works out. Nation coefficients. Germany, Spain, and then England. Doing okay. Club coefficients. England sitting in 3rd there. Looking like they're going to drop down to 4th under Italy. And only just above Russia, who will then move into 5th. So, we'll see. We'll see. If they move down to 4th, they will lose a Champions League position if they fall to 4th, which will give Italy the potential to really surge. See how it plays out. But if they fall any further than... Basically, if you're in the top 54, if you're in Europe, you have at least 1 team that will play in the Champions League. If you're in Europe. So, they won't ever not be represented. But you don't want to fall too far, otherwise it starts getting harder and harder. Qualify into the group stage, I should say. But it's possible. They should do okay. We go to clubs. Manchester City sitting down right here. Looks like the first England team. The next England team way down here, United. Then Arsenal. I've got a ways to go yet. Here we go. Okay, Newcastle. We're not really seeing the likes of Whitehawk and whatnot in here in terms of reputation. At least. Finances. Wealthiest clubs, most valuable clubs. Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, United, Bayern, Atletico, Roma, Dortmund, Monaco, Juventus. There's Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. Whitehawk sitting in a pretty 29th. Staines, Fylde, Cambridge, Barnet, Oxford, Bournemouth, Concord, Rangers, Brackley. Really even among the Premier League teams right now. Really, really even. That's very interesting to see just how even they are. Should come out with a very good, very interesting league. But Whitehawk seems to consistently be on top. And they're worth 10 million more than Staines. And 12 million, 13. I mean, they are worth more. And that shows by how they're winning, by their dominance. They need to keep up this trend. If they do it for 3 more years, they might be all the way up here with the likes of AC Milan, Lazio, Benfica, Inter. But they have to do it for 3 more years. They have to win 6 consecutive league titles and still perform, at least respectively, on the international scene. Now, it's not impossible, but that's all. Just winning 3 in a row is hard enough. We'll see if they can survive. I have faith that they can. I have faith that they will do well. but I have actually run through the simulation once before. Made it all the way to 2030, I think. And there are some very interesting things that can start to happen when you play that far into the game. So hopefully we'll see these premiership teams continue on this path of accumulating wealth, and we'll see them all just kind of flood up in here instead of the big four that are constantly dominating. Look at club coefficients. City. Goodness. Chelsea and then City, sorry. Arsenal, the Spurs, United. But again, we're not really seeing, there's Liverpool, we're not really seeing the likes of, Whitehawk up here. I mean, Everton's still up here. Newcastle, Hull, Stoke. We're not seeing Whitehawk up here yet. It'll take a couple seasons, but then we'll start seeing some representation on there. Look at transfers. It's all transfers in Europe. Looks like it's nothing too special. So, if we go ahead and go to the world, overview that, look at the overall nation rankings. Argentina, Colombia, Uruguay, Germany, Croatia, Spain, France, Brazil, Belgium, and Italy rounding out your top 10. Just getting it over Austria. So what's the World Cup? That World Cup, the World Cup, will be played on 2018, so we'll reserve that for next episode, next year. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time with another episode. Tell me what more you want to see. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. What do you want to know? What do you want me to look at? And I'll try and include that in the next episode. DFTBA, thanks for watching.